Joining us now, Democratic Congresswoman Karen Bass of California. She's a member of the House Judiciary Committee and a former chair of the Congressional Black Caucus. Jason Johnson, of course, still with us. Congresswoman, your thoughts to Joe Biden saying what everyone that was on our air yesterday noticed and said, and what Jason and I have been talking about since the top of the hour.
Well, what an incredible breath of fresh air, and
Right?
It just makes me hope that these next 13 days go by as fast as possible. Imagine a president acknowledging the differences in terms of treatment. It was shocking yesterday, and to have that acknowledged by the incoming president, it just fills me up with incredible hope. And then today, the appointments that he made, you know, long-standing civil rights activists who are going to be a part of the Department of Justice was very exciting, with Vanita Gupta and Kristen Clark.
Congresswoman, Eric Swalwell said on this program in the last hour that what he wanted to get to the bottom of in any investigation of what happened yesterday on the Capitol was whether or not there was help from the inside. And I don't know exactly what he meant, members or perhaps the police. What are your concerns in that area? And do you share his wanting to get to the bottom of that?
Well, I absolutely believe that we have to get to the bottom of it. You know, ironically, I had told my family that I was very worried about being out on the street in D.C. Yesterday and the day before, but that I was going to be in the Capitol, and that was the safest place in the country. Needless to say, I would have never imagined in a million years that the Capitol Police would have been overrun like that. It is just inexcusable. It's my understanding that their force is over 2,000 people, and there were 500 on duty. And so what is the explanation? That's why I thought it was so important to publicize the pictures. They acted with complete impunity. I mean, as you mentioned a few minutes ago. And so I do think that we have to look at everything. You see officers taking selfies with trespassers. They committed violence, vandalism. And so how can all of that happen? You can't even bring a purse in the Capitol without going through security. How do you bring in a flagpole?
Well, have you had any conversations with Capitol Police, or have they offered any explanations?
Yes, I did have discussions with Capitol Police. Now, it was just, you know, ad hoc, just talking to them and asking them what the heck happened here. And basically, they said that they were just overrun. I said, why didn't you arrest people? Well, we couldn't arrest people because there were too many protesters. And it really enraged me because I could only imagine what would have happened had it been a Black Lives Matter protest, or had the majority of the protesters been African American. That was domestic terrorism. They found Molotov cocktails. People were armed. They found, I don't know if they were fake or they were just bombs that didn't go off. I mean, just imagine that. Watching people catapult on the Capitol using ropes, you know, vandalizing Pelosi's office, standing on statues. It was just unbelievable. And how on earth did that happen? You know, it reminded me of Kyle Rittenhouse after the Kenosha, Wisconsin, after the shooting of Jacob Blake. He walks down the street with a rifle in his hand after having killed two people, shot one person. The police officers give him water and send him on his way. The disparity that exists in this country when it comes to policing. But you know what? We won the Senate yesterday. I am hoping that as soon as President Biden and Vice President Harris are in, we can get the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act signed. We can get the John Lewis Voting Rights Bill signed. So I'm thinking in a hopeful way as well.